It occurs to me that today is actually this channel's 5-year anniversary, so go us for being around on the YouTubes for half a decade. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to self-reflect a little bit, where the channel has come from and where it's going, and how this all ties together with you, the audience. So I didn't have any expectations starting this channel. I didn't actually know what would happen. Just thought it would be interesting to have my mug be on the internet doing DIY. I basically just wanted to help people. I wanted to put videos out there that someone may find useful. That was really kind of my goal. And as some of you know, the channel has gone through some rebrands over the years, and those are interesting because they are, in effect, reflections of my own mental state at the time. So let's look at the first one, Dumb Wrench, which is an interesting name. Obviously, on one hand, dumb, implying that somehow I'm stupid. But I'm working with wrenches and I am trying to fix things around the house. And normally a person wouldn't really say that about themselves. At least not a person with a strong sense of self-esteem, but that is not something I really possessed at the time. I really, in some corner of my mind, probably did believe myself to be kind of incompetent. It's a cruel thing to say to yourself, but past traumas kind of lead to that sort of thing, and if something in your past haunts you enough times, eventually you start to believe it. But what started happening next was kind of interesting. I find DIY kind of an empowering exercise, and as time went on, I worked on this deficiency in myself. I wanted to be more confident, believe in myself. So the next iteration that came up was Bozo Does It, which is also interesting. So does it implying, can do attitude, can do anything, not afraid to touch the tools and fix the things, but still Bozo. And what does that mean? Well, a Bozo is in effect a clown, which is from a marketing perspective, if the goal of this channel was to grow into the millions, that's probably not a very good mix. I don't think you would trust DIY instructions from a clown like, now we're gonna fix this, honking their nose every time they fix something. But I think I did this because that was my next iteration of mental state at the time, which was, I'm kind of clownish in my behavior, but I mean well. But most importantly, I think being a clown shields you from accepting responsibility and criticism. And criticism is not something I handled easily. I took a lot of things either to heart or got way too easily depressed over things. But when you're a clown, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot for your credibility. Clown doesn't have any credibility, therefore you are now immune from criticism. But it's also therefore a contradiction. You cannot simultaneously be competent and a clown at the same time. It doesn't really work. And so eventually we reach our current iteration, which is bootstrapping. And bootstrapping is probably the healthiest I have been. I think I'm getting slowly starting to come up on a crest of bootstrapping, of going even farther beyond. But bootstrapping basically means one thing. We're going to continue, quote unquote, tugging on our bootstraps until we become better. And the reason why anyone would want to take on a DIY project, other than to save money, it's to improve their circumstances. And that's kind of the essence of bootstrapping. But this is also kind of an ironic term in a sense, because I personally believe that bootstrapping has a logical conclusion. Nobody wants to keep bootstrapping until they're 70 years old and they're still crawling around in the basement or the attic and doing pipes or masonry or retiling bathrooms or whatever. You can do that sort of thing if you enjoy it, if you love it, but if you're doing it out of this struggle to try to bring yourself to have a better circumstance, well then that sucks. That sucks because there needs to be a logical end to bootstrapping, which is you've made it. You are done bootstrapping. You have created a life for yourself that you are proud of, you are comfortable with, and is ultimately good enough for you. Yeah, door's closed. It's terrible. It's awful. Because in this life, it's impossible to be good at all the things. There comes a time when the bootstrapping ends, you've created the life that you always wanted, and although you could DIY, you no longer have to. You're now in a comfortable enough position where things are either good enough, or if they are not, you can afford to pay someone to do it. Because, even for someone like myself, who has been doing DIY for 5, maybe 6 years now, like almost constantly, you could say, the quality of my workmanship is kind of all over the map. Some things I'm better at, others not so much, and it comes through in what I have to ultimately look at, the end result of my DIY. And what is the ideal? The ideal is, unless I really love doing it, and in some cases it's true, I would really rather someone who is better at it than I am just does it. But with all that said, with where we are currently at, 5 years, not dead yet, reached almost at 10,000 subscribers, 3.3 million views, which I consider every view as basically a customer. And in a sense, you could say that I have helped 3.3 million people. Well, you would hope. Obviously, not everyone's going to find what they're looking for when they watch one of these videos, but I tend to use the like button as my indicator whether they're happy with what they've seen or not, which is why it's so tragic that YouTube decided to remove the like button for the audience. See, the dislike button is very important. It's just as important as the like button. It allows you at a glance, you the audience, to tell whether a video is crap or not, whether it's worth your valuable time. And it also lets the creator know, like, hey, this video isn't very good. It wasn't worth my time. Now, YouTube will claim that it somehow got to do with protecting the creators, because the creators are so thin-skinned that they cannot handle criticism, even though on the back end, even with the dislike button not showing you the number of dislikes, I can see it. I can damn well go into the back end, go log into YouTube Studio, and it'll tell me all about it. So it clearly wasn't that, so I really do wonder just what the hell their motivations were. But this may sound like a tangent, but there is something you can do about it. I encourage you to get an add-on to your browser. It's called Return YouTube Dislike. It basically, through all kinds of trickery, voodoo, and a snapshot of past amounts of dislikes, has managed to recreate the dislike button. Anywho, that aside, this goes without saying, but I'm eternally grateful to you, the audience. And so now let's talk about the current state of the channel. I mean, it's not one of those channels that was ever destined to have millions of subscribers, and I think the reason for that is because it's just all over the map. The DIY stuff is whatever I feel like. One week it'll be plumbing, the next will be masonry, woodworking. Sometimes I'll review a product, and that kind of, as the audience, I assume this kind of disallows to have any sorts of expectations of the channel. Any channel that is like wildly successful is because they have like almost a formula down pat. It's like you get what you expect with the next video. I'll give an example. Well-known YouTuber Doug DeMiro reviews cars, has a particular format he follows almost systematically every single time, and it's always the same topic. It's cars, so it's an easy channel to follow. This channel, not so easy to follow. But with that said, I would like to hear all your thoughts on what would you like to see from this channel. And I don't mean this next question to sound callous or anything like that, but why are you here? Literally, why do you continue to come back to the channel? Some time ago, I actually posed this question in a poll form, and I think the result was a split between home improvement and antics. So a third of you come for the antics, a third of you come for the home improvement, and then a mixed bag of literally everything else. But that being said, it would be helpful to know, hey, what else would you like to see from this channel? Because at the end of the day, it's as much your channel as it is mine. Because while my end goal is always to help as broad an audience as possible, and the way people find my videos is they Google things. They ask the question, how do I fix plumbing? And with any luck, one of my videos will pop out, something generic like that. I'm also cognizant of the fact that there is a number of you who actually watch the videos regardless of what I produce. And I'm grateful for that. So long story short, let me know what you think in the comments below. That would be very helpful. But other than that, it's been a fun journey. I don't know where this channel will go in the future, but so long as I have the motivation and so long as I have projects, I will try to continue to post them. So thank you all for coming alongside me on this journey. I hope if nothing else, it's entertaining. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.